Good day, students. In our science lesson today, we are going to be learning the topic, the effects of polluting the environment. In grade 6, you learned about pollution, that pollution is adding harmful substances to the environment. Or in simple terms, pollution is adding dirt to the environment. Then we also learned about the prevention of pollution. We learned about the 3 R's, that we can prevent pollution by reducing, by recycling, and by reusing. This time around, we are going to be learning about the effects of pollution on the environment. When we are talking about an effect, we are now talking about the outcome. What really happens after the environment has been polluted? So in grade 6, we touched on the different types of pollution, which is water pollution, air pollution, and land pollution. So now we are going to be looking at the effect of pollution on the environment. So let me give you the objectives. The first objective is to give a description of the effects of air, water, and land on the balance of nature in the environment. The second one will be give a description of corrupt practices that promote pollution. And the third one is give a description of how global warming results in climate change. So to unpack now on how we describe the effect of pollution in the air. I will start with pollution in the air, the effects. So different industries, because of the demand of different goods, burn a whole lot of fossil fuels. Likewise, burning bushes, they release smoke into the environment. And within this smoke, there is nitrogen oxide and sulfur dioxide. These gases, when they rise up into the air, they mix with water droplets in the rain and cause what you call acid rain. The acid rain then comes down and it causes a whole lot of destruction to the environment. When we are talking about the environment, we are talking about our surroundings. So the environment, which is our houses, some of our houses have got tiles which are made out of zinc. The acid rain degrades the zinc and causes holes. Some acid rain falls into the rivers and it destroys the animals, it kills the animals. It also falls onto the soil and the soil is no longer good for cultivation. Also, if the acid rain falls onto the leaves, it destroys the plants as well. So that is one of the effects of pollution in the environment. Then we move on to burning again releases carbon dioxide into the atmosphere. The carbon dioxide, it blocks the heat that comes into the earth from the sun, and it causes what we know or what we call global warming. Global warming meaning that the world becomes hotter and hotter and hotter. So the effect there, when the world becomes warmer or hotter, the North Pole melts, causing floods, causing the sea level to rise. Then we move on to respiratory diseases. When the air, the atmosphere is full of smoke, the respiratory system of other people, they're not healthy. So it becomes very difficult for them to be able to breathe. There is a problem, a huge problem of litter. People just dump litter anyway. And what usually happens, animals that are grazing go by and they eat this garbage or litter, and it causes complications in their digestive system, leading to death. Some of the chemicals that agriculture people use, they also degrade the land because these chemicals are washed onto the land and they make the land poor and poor. So now we are going to move on to our second objective, which is give a description of corrupt practices that promote pollution. So for an example, other people's septic tanks become full and they wish to remove the waste. But then there are corrupt practices that happen out there. You find that there is a man who has a truck who can be able to suck up the sewage and goes there, makes a deal with the person who wants to remove the waste. So what will happen now is that person is going to be corrupt, do a corrupt act, and take the sewage water or the septic substance and go and throw it into the nearest rivers. So what does that do? It destroys the living creatures in the water. Some other people also take litter and they throw into the rivers because they don't want to hire trucks that will come and pick up their litter and go and dispose it in the right manner. So now we're going to move on to the last one. As I had said previously, that global warming is the warming of the earth. It is caused by too much carbon dioxide. And what makes too much carbon dioxide in the environment? It is burning too many things. When you burn too many things, the smoke releases a lot of carbon dioxide. Now, that carbon dioxide, it traps the heat inside the world. So as we can see, when we look at number one is the sun that produces heat. It produces heat to the world. Number two, rightfully, this heat is supposed to bounce back into space. But because of too much carbon dioxide in the world, when we look at number three, the heat gets trapped. It cannot bounce into space. It cannot go to space, but it bounces back onto the world, making the world extremely hot. So, as you can see, as we are going year by year by year, the world becomes hotter and hotter and hotter. And there are effects on global warming because it causes floods, it causes drought, and we cannot plant when there is drought. So there's a food shortage. I hope you have all understood today's lesson, grade 7. I will give you an opportunity to read this topic on effects of polluting the environment in your science books from page 76 to page 81. And then I will send you work on WhatsApp. Thank you so much.